assets and arbitrage. Simon has a few updates for you guys this week. We will definitely be going live again either tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday because the chief, he couldn't be here this evening for these updates. But the chief wants to go over AI and a few other up and coming things that he wants you guys to be aware of. So I'm going to let you do the quick updates. We're not going to be as long as we usually are. So many of you will probably catch the replay.
Yeah, so no doubt she is correct. We are going to get into a longer discussion when we get Chief. Shout out to the Chief when he comes on. Like she said, we want to do AI and a couple other things that are going on that are important in the community. Like we said, we want to always start off by saying, be stacking your sats, right? Stacking your precious metals and whatever else other digital assets you may come across and that are some of your favorites. We wanted to give a quick update on Bitcoin. I did not check as of today. I'm sorry, we have been a little busy, but we do know that this week Bitcoin had breached 42,000. And from what we learned, that was the first time in 20 months, which is very impressive.
Yes.
So 42,000, first time in 20 months. And so you see a lot of that, as we had spoke about it almost a year ago. This time you've seen Bitcoin hovering around 16,000, 17,000. So, that's why we always say dollar cost average, just stay steadfast in your stacking of sats. That's what we want to talk about right now as the opening. So really what I came across a few articles today that things that are disturbing to me. And we've talked about this before, but I believe we should talk about it again.
Can I just welcome?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I do want to welcome Deb and L. Says greetings, Simon family. Greetings to you. He's been with us for a long time.
Yes, indeed.
You guys see me making faces. Babies took over Dad's chair.
Greetings, good sir. Greetings, good sir. Thank you for joining us this evening. We wanted to talk about some banking issues. So, one of the things in the Bitcoin community is be your own bank. And that's what we strive to do and strive to be. So what's coming across, and it's disturbing to me that I keep seeing these articles probably over the last 6 months. And it really pertains to Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase, the closure. They're closing people's banks accounts without any notice. And so I want to start with this first story. There's multiple stories this week. So JP Morgan Chase, and this is from the Daily Hodl. So JP Morgan Chase accused of terminating an account that had $200,000 in it without warning, forcing the customer to fly 2,400 miles for support, is the report. So what we have here is we have a gentleman who is retired and lives in Hawaii. And he has a JP Morgan Chase account with a little bit over $200,000 in it. And without notice, his account was closed. So being that he lives in Hawaii, there are there are JP Morgan Chase ATMs, but there are no branches. So he gets on to talk to the people, and they tell him if he wants to, I guess what you say, rectify this, he has to come into
gotta go to a
local branch. Because there is no local branch, he has to take a flight from Honolulu to Los Angeles, LAX. Yeah, 2,400 miles to rectify this problem. So once he gets there and rectifies the problem, in his mind, he says, because no one could tell him what this was about. And in his mind, he says he made a large transfer through Zelle. So Zelle, if you correct me, is it through Wells Fargo, Bank of America? Or those are the three that they use the Zelle through?
Actually, Zelle is more, Zelle's reach has extended more to tier 1 banking.
Okay.
So even tier 2s and some of tier 3 banking does have the Zelle program. Many of you should be familiar with it. It's basically free transferring of funds from one account to another. The tier 1 banks started it. And like I said, they've extended their reach significantly to tier 2 and tier 3 banks. But that program isn't for like every single bank. Like I don't think Ally, those online banks, I don't think have Zelle. I
Okay.
think because they're not physical banks.
Okay.
Don't get me, y'all fact check me, but
Got you.
it has extended its reach to tier
Okay.
2 and tier 3 banking. But go ahead, babe.
Okay, so what he's saying, a large transfer and a Zelle payment.
Gotta get you flagged right now.
So what we have here is the U.S. banks can close accounts at their discretion, and for members who have, as they call it, suspicious activity. So they have these things. I'm sure you guys may be aware of this. They called SARS, SARs, suspicious activity reports. So what they will do is if they see suspicious activity, of course,
Instead of sending you a fraud alert, they just shut you down.
yeah, they just shut you down and tell you
Why?
to come into your local branch to hash it out. And this is to us is disturbing for people who may be global in different places, just like this gentleman in Hawaii, which is United States, but not the continental United States. He didn't have access to a branch. He has to spend money, fly,
get a place, because he doesn't live there,
and to rectify this situation. And that, that applies to us because we're in a place where there is no Chase Bank.
They didn't close our account, but I did have to fly back to hash some things out with our business account.
Yes, indeed.
We have Chase, we have Wells Fargo,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Robinhood, right? So we're telling you these things because you always want to have a strategic backup plan, right?
Yeah.
Many of you can just drive 15 minutes now, get to a local branch, or at least we'll be able to in the near future. But you should, like, just like you would diversify your portfolio, you shouldn't keep all of your eggs in one basket, just in case, right? And then what hubby has me do is, because I do contract work, and they do the direct deposits, I can get like 70% sent here, 30% sent there, and so on and so forth, right? Those numbers can be broken up even smaller. If you wanted to send deposits to your other accounts, he often puts money in Robinhood, Acorn. What else do we have? Robinhood, Acorn, Wells Fargo, Chase.
We talking about Uphold, Fold. What's that other one we had?
You got Cash App, right? So
Crypto.com.
yeah. So now Cash App card doesn't work here in Mexico, but we do use our card for like Airbnbs, electronic stuff, Amazon, yada, yada, yada. So the point of the show is, just like you would diversify your financial portfolio, you should definitely have a backup. If you have these tier 1 banks, right? Just because we have Chase and Wells Fargo doesn't mean that they wouldn't both shut your account down.
Yeah.
And luck would have it at the same time or around the same time. So like backup 1 and backup 2 are out, and now Cash App's up or Robinhood's up, somebody's up, until we can fly there and get it hashed out. It's a 2.5-hour flight, no big deal. Yeah. I could always fly to our home.
Yeah.
So thank goodness, we don't have to pay to stay somewhere when we go take care of business. Mm-hmm. We often have to fly home anyway because our precious metals, obviously, y'all don't know this, but like Mexico doesn't have mail like the United States has mail. So it's not like I could just go to the post office and mail something off or get something mailed to me, right? DHL does come to our back door, but our precious metals are not. They don't get mailed to Mexico because it's customs.
It's tough.
Right? It never makes it past customs. It always disappears, and insurance has to be paid out. I remember our good friend Andy Shuckman was like, Aaron and Gordon, it would be easier for me to mail your silver to Timbuktu, literally, than to mail it to you in Mexico. So I often have to fly back to get our stuff. Yeah. I do want to welcome World of Champions. Shalom. It is the Sabbath.
It is.
Right? So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for greeting us like that. Always look forward to the updates. Much love. And then I have somebody who has their name written in beautiful Arabic. Obviously, I cannot read it. So if you can tell me what your name is, I would appreciate it. But it says, "Greetings, Simon family." I do suspect that this person comes on a lot, though.
Yes, they do. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, because I think I recognize it's like symbols to me, right? Like
Yeah.
hieroglyphs, I recognize it. Rick W said 100%. Thank you, Hassan. Okay, that's great because that's what I'm gonna call you from now on. Thank you so much for joining us, Hassan.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're a Sabbath guy, but Shabbat Shalom.
All right.
I don't want to offend you if we got issues in that area, but
No worries.
peace, right? Peace, love. It's all love. So we wanted to update you with that.
Oh yeah. Also, I wanted to say before I move on to another story. The problems we had with Wells Fargo here is you will always have they will freeze your account for what they call suspicious activity.
Oh Lord, y'all don't even know.
Right. You could be at
Christmas time.
You could be at Walmart grocery shopping and you're ready to check out, and maybe it's different than what you have been spending on your ledger recently. They'll just freeze it. They won't let the transaction go through. You have to get on with a representative.
But most of the time, right, in their defense,
Yeah.
I can just go on my phone.
Yeah.
I go into my email and I hit the button, and then when the lady runs it again, it works just fine, right? How many we've been here 6 years, 7 years?
7.
How many Christmases? 7 out of 7? 6.
happens.
Well, this is the 7th Christmas, right? So we don't know. Cross your fingers. I don't think we had trouble last year, though.
No, not much trouble, but
I don't think we had trouble.
You have to almost go in there and call them and say, hey, let them know where you're at.
Yes.
There's going to be some different type of spending.
And you do the 6-month plan.
Yeah.
I told them that I'm a Latin American account manager, which is not a lie.
Yeah.
And this is where I work. Yes, my residence is in Florida, but I need y'all to work with me as I do, what I'm paid to do as a consultant and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
2, there was something else I wanted to tell them, babe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all do that, right? When you go international, if you're going for more than like a week, if you're going for a month or more, you definitely want to contact them. For Wells Fargo, right on your online profile, you should be able to do it there, right? Turn on international. It's a button you toggle for Wells Fargo, like international traveling or something like that. So y'all check out your online profile.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or at least you used to be able to, right? I haven't had to do it in years. Hassan wants to know if we have problems getting our metals physically through customs. We don't get it at all. They have to pay the insurance out because it just disappears
when you
like
say
magic.
Physically through customs, I don't know if you mean like we're physically bringing them, because if you're talking about bringing them physically,
okay. Did you mean bringing them?
There will be problems. There be problems if you bring them physically.
He bought 38 Britannias. Wow. When he actually weighed them, they were 1.10 ounces. So I came out with 39.6, which means I only paid 25. Okay. That's Cryptonomics. That wasn't Hassan.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You bought the Britannia. Oh,
Yeah,
great. You did say you was going to do that last week. Bringing them. Oh, story time. So I don't have a lot of trouble bringing them. So our very first time, I was a newbie and didn't know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And man, we had the bricks, right? We had the 10 ounce. Yeah. Anyway, and a whole bunch of them. I had a whole bag full, and they were being very disrespectful with my property. So I had to. I didn't even have the Spanish to put together, tell them how disrespectful they were being. I was just talking to them in English at that point. But because they didn't have a numismatist, they couldn't really tell me how much I had to pay. So I ended up getting out of there. What was it, babe? $200?
Yeah, so she's exactly right. They couldn't assign value to her.
That much I knew, right? Movie or not, I knew that. Because they wanted me to pay like $2,000, and customs said, no, I'll give you $200 and y'all get out of my face.
So what you could do, I mean, it's, when you're in a different country, there are
rules.
There's rules, and you can negotiate. You can negotiate through this stuff. So here's the thing right here. I would say you can bring your, when you order, people who order from like Atmex, JD Boy, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You'll get the sheets. It'll give you a value. You can bring the papers that show the value.
Nothing.
And then they could tax you on the value of all the paperwork that you bring. 2, the second time we did
Mama was smart, right?
We did the
it was all American
Silver Eagles,
and it was the Artment.
art mints, but when you pull
They
them
come in
out,
a case.
when you pull them out, they always say
$1.
$1.
And the nice one said $5,
Right?
Because we had gold and stuff in there too.
So when you add those up, the people just add them up. If
Some
it comes,
said $20 on. I think that was our gold round.
So they'll take and they'll add up what is on the front of the MS70 coin, $1. Add it up if it's like $80.
I got out of there for like 170 something. It was a little bit less than 200 that time because we just had so many.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the gold was in there. The gold rounds were in there, and I think they're like.
Yeah, those are a little more.
That's what it say on the back, Cryptonomics. So if you get like a do we want to go grab one so I can show them what they need?
Just the numismatic, it just says like $1 US.
I'm gonna go grab one to show y'all what I need.
And so they'll just count it up as $1 US, even though it's an ounce of silver. And they'll just tax you on that. So it can just be a little bit of a pain. You got to watch. There's a lot of people who get involved. So you got to keep an eye on everybody. Everybody's picking up your silver, looking at this one, looking at that one. So just make sure nothing goes away. And so, that is one of the headaches. That's where Bitcoin becomes, when they use the tenets of money as stated by, who stated the tenets of money? I think it was Aristotle. It is more portable. You could take Bitcoin and nobody has to know you have it. You don't have to go through these things, right? When you take physical precious metals, you have to incur these taxes as you take them across nation state borders. And it could be a hassle. People weren't, I don't think they were very nice. Do you think they were very nice?
The second time they were.
Okay.
But not the first time. First time they were real disrespectful.
Yep.
Yes, almost like, what are you doing with this? As if to say, like, Negro, what are you doing with this? Sean's going to bring it because I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about. But now we got to safeguard it. So it's going to be a minute before he brings it here. Cryptonomics, I knew you meant that was a low price. That's why I was like, that's incredible. That's so great that you got it for that. I need to go look.
Yeah. They'll give you that discount.
Crazy Bronx Dime. Hello, Colonel. Thank you for joining us. World of Champions. Oh, World of Champions is giving us an update that 60 credit unions got hacked last Friday. People weren't able to access their funds. Do we think that banks will just be taking people's money because of the debt issues? That's a good question, right? Because we can't trust them. And we can't trust that the hackers are outside of the system. Mm-hmm. I do know that earlier this year, and I wasn't able to vet the information. I don't like giving y'all information that I cannot vet and give y'all receipts to. But before I get into that, hold on one second, Sean. So where is it? Okay. So on this coin, it's real tiny, but can y'all see there? It says $5.
Yours.
Yeah, it says $5. It says $1.
Mine says $1 here. This is
an MS70. This say $5.
This is just an American Eagle. If you see right here, man, it's so small. It says $1.
Yeah, and this one says $5. Yeah. So all they did was go through all of these. We got like trays and trays of them. And then they counted that up, and I ended up getting out of there at that time for about $172 when they added it up. There was a third and a fourth time, y'all.
Yeah, this is MS70 as well.
Yeah, this one's only $1, but look, baby, this is $5. And it's the art mint. That's why it's $5.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. So they'll just add them up. So, and when you're trying to move through these nation-state borders, these are the things you have to keep in mind. Definitely keep in mind these type of things. That's why you have a balance of in your portfolio, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not a big stock market guy. I used to be. I've kind of moved out of that. Some people still big in the stock market, and I don't blame you and all that. If you have a good job, a good profession, you definitely want to take advantage of those employer match systems, right?
Definitely, most definitely. And for those of y'all who do have great revenue generating income, definitely check out I Trust Capital because they typically plug into a lot of corporate positions in retirement.
Great mutual funds that you can actually bring in some cryptocurrencies and some precious metals. So I Trust Capital, I'm big fans of them. The Chief's a big user of I Trust Capital, and he's a big advocate.
And we got ours set up.
Yeah, so that's great Definitely great way to go about it. Is there anything you want to read? I see some long
I
proposals.
did. So Yaki Domingo, Clarity Coach EJ said, "Hey, my people, welcome.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us." Cryptonomics said the premiums on the site was like $27 maybe. But he doesn't think they weighed the silver before sending it. So there's a plug right there. And the fact that the coins are weighing in over 1 ounce, that you got a great deal.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Thank you. Who would for that?
Yeah, man.
The cost of the silver, when I get it and weighing, it was only 1 ounce on the dot. So he got 3.10 ounces of silver. The Britannias. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. And what site did you get it from? Was it ATMEX? He'll have to plug the site there.
Britannias, are that one of your favorite coins?
I thought he mentioned that, or he knew that they were gonna have a
or did they have a sale? So if you
he mentioned it last show that they were gonna have a sale or something like that, because that's what he was looking at.
Yeah, I got a few Britannias. We love the Britannias. So this second story,
Jay and Bullion.
Okay, yeah, they the homies too.
So y'all check out Jay and Bullion. It looks like they may have some great deals.
So this is another Chase Bank is locking out somebody else's account. So now Chase Bank, this is a gentleman, closed my account without notice. And then when he went to settle this in person, he was charged $25 fee, even though it wasn't his fault. Now, the interesting part about this is that this is...
He was black, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know if he was black. It was
I bet you he was.
But in the story, they refer to him, a Chase Bank customer who they refer to as a YouTuber. Okay, so the YouTuber, his name is
Born Alliance.
Born Alliance said his bank charged him after they closed his account out to reopen it. So that also brings up the fact that if you are on YouTube or any social media, whatever it may be, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, banks are looking at these things, right? And if they see maybe some speech that doesn't align with them, maybe you spoke negatively about them, they can close your account. So, as we like to talk about the cartel and the cartel leader, we won't mention his name, but you guys know who he is. They can close your account down. And so we also have to be careful and wary of these things, even if it's not your YouTube. If you're sharing this information, if you come across an article or a video, you share it that may be disparaging of the banking system, they have the right to just freeze and or shut down your account. These are the things that's going on with the banking system, with a lot of fear, because a lot of people are moving to digital currency. And so, they're doing whatever they can to preserve themselves, as I see it.
Yeah.
I went through I don't know if you've seen anything else pertinent, but like I said, he's a YouTuber. He was targeted. He was
business account too.
Yeah, so he was definitely targeted for being a YouTuber and probably didn't like his speech.
So Cryptonomics said he's buying Britannia's foreign silver only. Cryptonomics, I'm gonna want you, if you could do me a favor and just explain to me, if the U.S. confiscates American Silver Eagles, how come they wouldn't confiscate how come they wouldn't confiscate more of your personal property? If there's something that if there's an article that you have, so I can understand the rationale on ASEs over any other silver or gold that you may own.
Right.
World of Champions. Sounds like social credit scores are coming. You already know that, right? Because how many YouTubers get demonetized? How many or not just YouTubers, Facebookers, YouTubers, TikTokers, Snapchatters, I don't know what other social media stuff people use, but anytime you say something about somebody or about a corporation or something like that, they'll demonetize you in a heartbeat. They'll shut your whole channel down. Are you guys familiar with David Icke?
No, they put David
right. I can't even tell you to Google him anymore.
They put him on ice, but
right. He is literally non-existent in any social media platform because he's been speaking out against the Illuminati, the cabal, corporations, the U.S. government, the European government, the three-city empire. For y'all should know who that is.
Most definitely. And even if you guys, whether you like him or not, familiar with Alex Jones, Once he got caught up in the Sandy Hook situation,
That was that
I believe he said he had
Next
23 bank accounts, and they all
Do y'all
lost
remember
something.
Kanye? Chase Bank shut down Kanye West's bank account after he said whatever he said about the community. We're not allowed to call their names or talk about them.
Shut him down. And you remember the gentleman who was he was a general. He's a general of the army.
Oh, was he with Trump's
But
cabinet?
and when he spoke on Trump,
Yeah, they shut him down.
Shut his bank account down. So
And he couldn't get any new accounts. He had to go to another country, didn't he, babe?
oh, I don't know. Maybe he may
Yeah,
have
he had some real capital. So, and it took a long time for that same story. It not only did they shut the account down, right? But when they shut your account down, they're supposed to send you your funds.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they didn't want to send it. It took forever for him. It was a fight for him to get his funds because he went out against that administration.
Yeah. So.
Catalyst Unleashed. Chief is the expert in all cold storage hardware. He'll be on next show, so he's definitely going to give you a rundown. We do have nano ledgers because Chief told us like that's the best thing to do. We wanted to get all of our stuff off the exchange. Chief has a significant expertise and history in basically computers, computer networking, all things technical, all things hardware, software. So Catalyst Unleashed, I'm absolutely going to have Chief rattle that off. If we're going to go live, you said tomorrow or Sunday?
Yeah, whenever Chief's ready, I'm ready.
Either tomorrow or Sunday. We'll make sure it's either tomorrow or Sunday, and I'll make sure that's the first thing Chief talks about. Yeah. That way, whether you're on live or do the replay, you'll get that first. World of Champions. Oh, he said decent wallet is good for cold storage. Awesome. Mm-hmm. And if anybody else on here has some preferences, but Chief is going to give you all the technical breakdown on your cold storage wallets. He's the SME, and I like the SMEs to do all the talk. I talk about what I'm an expert in. Yep. I'm not one of those people who talk just to be heard.
Okay. And so, we just wanted to bring you that in the banking sense because, as we're trying to be our own bank,
it's so hard to get out of the
they're throwing curveballs at us, right? Because even when you try to be your own bank, you still need these intermediaries so we can move from here to there. So you kind of still need them, especially people maybe if you have a job, some income, salary. Yes. It's going to be put into your account.
You just want to have a backup, right?
And we always talked about, was it BitPay? Bitwage. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Is it BitPay or Bitwage?
Bitwage. You're right. It's Bitwage. Okay. BitPay is something else. Bitwage, where you can receive some of your salary, your income in Bitcoin, right? So that kind of bypasses the traditional banking, but also you still have to have a way to move it around and through traditional banking. So, we're getting there, though. We're definitely getting there. We're really close. Being your own bank it's a challenge, but I enjoy it, but we like to keep you up on things that we see as far as the banking is going, and it just keeps coming across like, dang, a lot of people are getting their accounts closed, so we got to be prepared for that. And our good friend Andy Scheckman, CEO of Miles Franklin, tells you, and it might be highbrow or not, you make your own assessment, but he says you need to keep $5,000 cash in your home in case of these type of problems, right? 5,000 might be a lot, but keep an amount of cash in your home so that you can operate if somebody shuts your bank account down. That gentleman had to book a flight from Honolulu to LA, and his $200,000 are locked up. Mm-hmm. So he has to have some amount of cash or credit to get that done. So something on the sideline, what they would call like, Dave Ramsey would call, what would you call emergency fund? Mm-hmm. So have an emergency fund in cash. If you look up some of these stories, and we'll go into them another time, people are hoarding cash. And so have some cash on the sideline for emergencies. So definitely have that, because a lot of this stuff, they're tying you up in digital ways. So have some cash ready. Have some cash.
Voice Crypto is reminding us of when Canada shut down the truckers who were protesting. It sure did. Shut them all the way down. And their whole objective, I keep telling y'all, is to absolutely control us. They're going to starve people. They're going to shut down bank accounts. It's going to be hard. to navigate your world every day because they just have so much access, especially when everything's digital, right? They eventually want to get rid of cash. Crazy Bronx Don suggested iCoin, which is pretty good. Cryptonomics is reminding us in 1933, the U.S. government confiscated gold coins, etc., made it illegal to own.
Yeah.
And then it went up, right?
Yeah.
So his thinking is that they can't confiscate it if it comes from another country. I don't know about that. I think if they would come for your ASCs, they're going to come for everything, right? If they feel like you own physical silver or gold or any other precious metal that they're looking for, because you got to remember the silver too has an industrial use. So their FANG people can utilize the silver in order to make the technology and stuff that they want them to make.
Right.
But the U.S. doesn't have any jurisdiction over foreign silver or gold. That country does. I get where you're going, and I understand your rationale, but like I said, they're all in bed together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if they're going to come for your ASCs and your AGEs, they're absolutely going to come for everything.
Yeah, and for my OGs out there who collect silver, understand we like to talk about local coin dealers, local coin shops, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can kind of track you if you're buying like we do on AtMex.
The custody
is
well documented.
It's well documented.
And it was supposed to protect you.
It's supposed to protect you, but now it's a way to track you. Where if you go to a local coin dealer, you buy some ounces of silver, a little bit harder to track you. Not impossible, but a little bit harder to track you if you want to keep it. Definitely, if you have your silver in a depository, easily tracked, unfortunately. And you know, when they, what do you say, took the silver and gold back? Was that who was that? Who was that?
The confiscation?
Man, that was Woodro Wilson, I believe. It was a soft confiscation. So that people don't, it wasn't kicking the door and they're taking your silver, but it was just like, if you turn your silver in or your gold in, we'll give you this amount per ounce. And people kind of willingly turned it in to get the cash, right? You know, so it wasn't a violent thing. But, you know, they'll give you a number and you'll be like, hey, you know, a number above what it is worth, spot price. And it looks,
it'll entice people
it looks
to
enticing.
Come and turn it in.
Yeah, so you know, they
Cryptonomics said it was Roosevelt.
It was Roosevelt? Okay. I know it's one of them cats back then, man. You know, Woodrow Wilson did the other one. He did the 1912. What was that act?
Which act?
Man, 1912, man. You guys got you in the game, though. You know what I'm talking about. The act in 1912, I think.
What did they do?
Man, man, what did he do? I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared, so I'll keep it moving. But yes, they will come get your stuff, but it will be kind of in a soft way. Say, hey, if you can turn this in, we'll give you this amount of money.
Mm-hmm. And then Cryptonomics is wilding in the comments. He said these coins got King Charles face on them. Is that what you wanted to say? Not Biden, so they can kick rocks. Let Charles come get this silver. You think he would come? Well, you got to remember too, right?
You talking about the king of the world?
The king. He's the king of the universe.
Oh, the universe? Oh my goodness.
You got to remember too, Cryptonomics, the 3-city empire, right? Never forget that. The 3-city empire is London. That's the economic arm of the 3-city empire. DC is the military arm, and the Vatican, Rome, is the spiritual arm. So in a sense, they do have jurisdiction, and especially him has jurisdiction over it, because we are still, I don't know if people understand, we are still colonized. If you guys notice, every single president that gets inaugurated it was the queen at the time, got to go before the queen.
Yep.
Right? We are still, because we are part of the 3-city empire. I want y'all to look that up. So I get your thinking, Cryptonomics, but don't ever think that you got more rights than they got, pull, arm, and jurisdiction. Yeah. So I get that. The Federal Reserve Act of 1912, you talking about?
There we go. That? Thank you, good sir. The Federal Reserve Act of 1912.
But he wants to know, is that what you mean?
That is what I meant.
Woodrow signed the Federal Reserve Act.
That was Woodrow Wilson. I was confused right there. Thank you, good sir.
And then Roosevelt was the one who did the friendly confiscation.
The friendly confiscation, if you will.
Which I think they would start with, right? cryptonomics, I think they would start off friendly, smiling in your face, glad to break bread with the God, but then it would just become a little bit more, especially since everybody is hip to the BS, right? When they see that not as many people are coming forward and not as many people are thirsty for the fiat over their precious metals, then I think it would become more militarized. I'm hoping that that is not a future, but it is absolutely one, cryptonomics. I'm glad you brought it to the forefront. It is one we need to have kind of in our mind as we safeguard and bury things and hide things. Y'all saw how long it took Shauna to bring that stuff to us. We learned our lesson.
I don't even know where it's at.
So they manipulate the price and keep it low. You already know if the cartel is on top of that. Confiscate your stash, then run the price up. Yeah, it absolutely is thievery. I'm not saying I don't know why, because we do know why, right? But it's extremely important for this percent or less than 1% of the world to keep the masses, keep their foot on the neck of the masses, right? We're seeing now that people are kind of like finding their way outside of the 9 to 5. And what do? They tank the economy, right? People are constantly telling y'all, for those who watch a lot of YouTube and stuff like that, you should be hearing people say, we are making more money now than we made, and people are still check to check. Some people are working 2 and 3 jobs and still can't seem to pull it together. Homelessness is as high as it's ever been. They are taking, if you guys are noticing, all of the extra capital, which really ain't no extra capital of the deficits and the trillions, but whatever. And they're like, we're going to give it to everybody but the people here who pay into it and who need it. Like, I've noticed that with this administration. I'm mind boggled by it, right? We will pay immigrants $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. We'll give them free housing. We'll give them free food benefits. And then you have the person who has the 2 jobs paying into it and can't get any benefits.
Yeah. And so, you have to definitely, I like what she's saying. You have to have a perspective on this stuff. Back in the day, long time ago, I always was a big fan of Dave Ramsey. And I still watch some of his shorts on YouTube and stuff like that. And man, far too often you'll hear people call into him. They're making $250,000 a year as a couple, $500,000 a year, and they're still check to check. They're in, almost. What kind of debt would you say? Their debt is so deep behind all the credit cards. I just seen a lady call in. She said they had 32 credit cards and they were in over $160,000 debt in credit cards. And these people make $500,000 a year, and they're still check to check. They're in trouble.
It was $510,000 a year, she said, between the 2 of them. And plus, they had some trust, didn't they? Or was that a different Damery?
No, they didn't have trust, but they were in a lot of trouble. And you would think if that was your income per year, you would be pretty safe, pretty comfortable. But if you still get out here and see, man, these people are struggling no matter what the income is. So one thing that he likes to stress, and we would stress too, is being smart with your money, no matter how much you make. If you make, $20,000 a year, you make $200,000 a year. Being smart with your money and building your wealth, So I'm always a big proponent of Dave Ramsey, because he really spits those building blocks of wealth, So it doesn't have to be real, real technical or anything like that. He just spills that discipline. If you continuously do what you're supposed to do in building wealth, you will get there over time. It is a long time preference play, but he is very in depth about speaking on that.
I would say too that you definitely want to do some unprogramming, right? So for certain classes, age groups, demographics, you can see that they're constantly pushing this. I mean, I know it sounds corny when I say it, but they're constantly pushing this bling bling lifestyle, right? So I'm talking about our community right now. You got the Real Housewives, you got Love and Hip Hop, you got this fake, right? It's just costume jewelry, right? It's just an accessory, it's like a belt. What was I gonna say, babe?
You said bling bling.
But I was saying like Love and Hip Hop
Okay.
videos,
Yeah.
movies, and it's to the point now, right, where you're hearing women within this demographic telling you, you know, they're looking for this 6-figure guy so they don't have to work and do anything, and they can live a lifestyle that they're seeing on the Real Housewives, on Love and Hip Hop, on all of these shows that are constantly showing you this luxurious lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
One, right? The happiness index is a real psychological thing.
Yes.
And the happiness index doesn't, right now, I think it went up to 90, but it was originally 70,000, 70 in the magic
It's up in
number.
the 90s. It's in the 90s.
Yeah, it's in the
now.
90s now. But once you get past there, you're actually quite miserable. And I don't understand, even though entertainers tell you, I came across a Cardi B, and typically I don't watch it, but she mentioned she wished she could just live in a cottage and be a mom.
Mm.
So it's like, well, why don't you? Right? Because you like your lifestyle.
Right.
And that lifestyle you see when you watch these videos is you're constantly bombarded with it. Jump out, girls. Hey, y'all, we missed you. KW1, World of Champions, Crazy Bronx Stein. I'm going to get to your points in just a minute. But when we, KW1 said, what a nice surprise on Friday night. Hubby has some updates for y'all. That's why we on here.
Yeah.
But when we talk about unprogramming and simplifying your life, y'all know I'm going to hit y'all with the Bible verse. Do not love the world and the things of this world. They are set up to destroy you.
Mm.
Our whole financial system is built on debt. And it's no, because words are spells, it's no coincidence that debt sounds like death. Right? There's no life in it. If you are working 6 jobs so that you can look like one of the characters on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, is it worth it?
Right.
Right? We were watching some current events unfolding, because I'm not passing judgment on this person, but some really bad things happened to this person.
Oh, boy.
And the person filed a federal lawsuit and was able to get their money in 24 hours. And like, when you think about it, the payout that was received wasn't worth that 45-page document of events that happened to that person over the course of 10 years. It just wasn't, the money wasn't worth it. So we watched another documentary today on Total, just like their rise and what happened and stuff. And again, you know, you're just scrolling and stuff come up. You're like, oh, this is interesting. Let's hear it. But they talk about, you know, in the beginning, one of the members said that she would have done anything for some money. And then when the money came her way, she didn't like herself.
Yeah.
So.
And the people around her didn't like her as well.
Her mom, her mom said, I love you, but I don't like you anymore, right? Because the money was changing her. So Wendell Mayo said he loves your Superman hat. Oh, I'm hoping Wendell is male, but I need to stop with that. Wendell said, loved your hat.
Oh, okay, thank you.
But there needs to be some unprogramming. We are a very large family. Not to say we don't have any type, say hi. Y'all can see his little wild hair. Not to say that we don't have any convenient items. We don't treat the kids to Apple products, stuff like that. But the idea is to set your household up in a way where the money isn't running things. You run the money. You manage the money. The money isn't managing you. It's not making you miserable. A lot of people in the United States, we hear a lot of people like, wow, y'all make a lot of money. That's amazing. And they are in serious debt because their overhead is so high because of the way they spend money. But at the end of the day, when you start identifying it, it is a situation where, you know, there's a certain look or aesthetic that they have to them, right? Bodysuit don't have no name on it. This is costume jewelry, right? You can look nice and not be putting money into another legacy family's pocket. We've talked about that. We've also seen celebrities, Black celebrities, go into these luxury boutiques and get treated like
mistreated
regular Negroes, right? We don't want you to shop. We have so much money, we don't need your money. So right? No, close that red rope around him. You cannot come into the Versace store, the Gucci store, or whatever have you, right? This is my little Siamese twin over here, y'all. He's like, mommy's supposed to be playing with me right now. But it's a lot of unprogramming that would help in many of these cases, right? That's why I said right now, if you're going to spend extra money anyway, especially in the season, definitely get things that you absolutely need, right? Extra water, maybe a bug out bag, maybe those, what do you call them, baby? Them things where you eat, where it's got like enough, like 223 portions of food.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If something goes wrong, it's them big green cases.
Yeah,
they're like $228 or something like that.
Yeah, they're very.
Make sure you have, a portable charger in your house. I always tell y'all that, and I never have it with me to show you, but they have the portable chargers that can jump a car. It has 3 or 4, the 3-prong outlets where you can plug something powerful in it. It'll last for a week or 2 weeks or what have you. It has the hazard light, like if you break down, if your car break down, or if you need light in your home.
Most definitely. Remember, it depends on where you live at. Some people, if you live in like apartment, condo type of situation, you have certain things prepared for that. Like she's talking about, if you have a home, maybe out on land, you're going to need that actual generator. You're going to need that generator, a gasoline, diesel generator.
And spend that extra money on like those type of things instead of, the newest, whatever the new bag is. It used to be MK. I don't know what it is now. But, those $400 boots.
Because we got a situation like, for example, I would say we have a electric water pump. So electricity goes out, you want to plug in your water pump so that you can get that water going through your home and everything. And, and because that's a big health issue. People think about taking showers and stuff, but really it's about sewage.
Right? Being able to flush.
Yeah. So you got to have your water pump game together. You got to have a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff going on out here, and it's a lot of things that we need to have. That's why we got to keep talking all the time so that we just
extra medicine. Right. And then we talk about if you have extra money, instead of buying this thing that doesn't appreciate in value, that you already have 100 of, like women, bags, shoes. I don't know what else do we have a million outfits and stuff. Definitely put that excess money in something to save your purchasing power, to at least increase the ability of purchasing power that you have, like precious metals, like Bitcoin. It's just an unprogramming, right? I don't necessarily have to have an 8-bedroom house and it's just 3 of us.
Yeah.
Right? Just kind of like thinking those things out, not using, your lifestyle as an accoutrement for other people to be like, oh, you got everything. No. You can have everything. You can be blessed and still live a very practical life where at least you'll be somewhat happy. Let me see. Cryptonomics asks if we have 2 channels. So we have our own Simon Family Investment channel. If you guys can subscribe there. I'm not big on the subscribe or whatever, but it's great if you guys subscribe to our channel. Our channel has a lot of lifestyle stuff. You get to see how we live in Mexico. We homeschool the kids. So we have some homeschool videos to kind of encourage some of the homeschool group parents. But this is the Gentleman in Crypto's channel. So what they designed was they wanted like 24-hour access to, information like we give. Shout out to King Bless and Bitcoin Zay. They give you the technicals every single day. Shout out to Trek and my little. Y'all forgive me if I'm forgetting you on this channel.
Nah,
it's Stacks, right?
My good brother Ruel Black,
yeah, because he comes on very often. The Jump Out Girls used to have on there. I have to reach out to them, figure out what's going on. And we definitely, Jump Out Girls, I'm not sure which one of y'all is on here. Both of y'all are on here. But we would love to have y'all on the show. You guys have great information, and we really want the people to kind of get that information again. So if you can go in the drop-down box, that's my email. Please email me so we can find a way to reach out to y'all. I don't use Discord. I hate Discord. So if you can email me that way, I have a contact to both of you. I would love that because I do want y'all on the show.
Yes, indeed.
There was something else we were supposed to tell the people.
Oh yeah, I got one more. I was going to do a hard pivot, so we're going to do some good news, I guess, maybe. Good news. There's a lot of bad news, but let's go good news. And like she said, shout out to the gentleman of crypto, King Bless. I believe he went over this morning, as I saw. But we're going to go over it as well. So we're going to talk about El Salvador. El Salvador could rake in 1 billion Bitcoin as far as dollars investment per year they have a new freedom visa. So now we have a new visa. We have some stipulations on the visa. Now we went to El Salvador. Oh boy, it's probably been 18 months. It's almost 2 years now.
It's been that long?
It's
It
March.
has to be 2
Yeah,
years.
it's March of 22.
It'll be 3 in March.
It's March of 22. We went to El Salvador to check out the Bitcoin situation there. And it was, what would you say, a little underdeveloped as we saw it then. Yeah, so now 2 years later almost. So the country, I'm going to read this story. This is a story from CoinDesk. So, a reputable resource. The country's treasury owns just over 2,700 Bitcoin, which has yielded over 3 million in unrealized gain. So they're doing very well in their Bitcoin investment, as President Bukele is doing very well. El Salvador is targeting Bitcoin and crypto millionaires. So they're targeting millionaires, so maybe a higher class. The latest push in attracting residents to the country. So the nation is kickstarting a freedom visa program on Thursday, which would have been yesterday. And they're doing a residency maximum of 1,000 people per year to invest at least $1 million worth of Bitcoin, or looks like they got Tether, USDT, stable coins. So if you have that in Bitcoin and investments, you are eligible for the Freedom Visa. So eligible participants will receive a long-term resident permit and a path to full-time citizenship. And an application costs, what did it say, non-refundable? Wow, that's $999 in Bitcoin or USDT. That's a little stiff, but you have to pay the price for freedom, as they say. And so this will be handled by Tether Global, as you try to use, whether using Tether or Bitcoin. And so it is a concept of a golden visa, and I have another golden visa we need to talk about in Spain, because a lot of people like to go to Spain. Yeah, she's not a fan of Spain, so we could talk about that golden Spain visa as well one day. So
look up the Moorish history of Spain.
Yeah, so she's not a fan. So what you're doing is you're taking your Bitcoin and your Tether, and you're getting residency in El Salvador. And so,
but at $1 million, they don't have.
What?
I get what they're trying to do, but they should have like a step down visa.
Well, so the way I read it is they're trying to get high end crypto investors.
I understand they want. I get what they're doing. I'm just saying they should also have like a step down program, even if it's a little bit longer or whatever.
They may do it. Once they get the high investors, then they can kind of.
But you're gonna get a lot more smaller investors than you are gonna get the.
And
what's his name? Andrew.
And well, you got Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert over there.
Oh, they may get the influencers to come over.
So they get some people to come over and stuff like that. Yeah, so that is definitely things that's going on. That's a little bit better information. People, I would recommend, if you are Bitcoin, cryptocurrency like that, go check out El Salvador. It's a great place. People are great food, great weather. What would you say about El Salvador?
It's a place, and we always encourage travel. I'm worried. I'm telling y'all to travel. And I'm at the point where I'm telling travel now while you can, because I really don't know what's coming down the pipe as far as how they're going to start restricting. They're already restricting travel. People have been complaining about domestic flights. I don't know if you guys know, but little kids don't grow up and say, I want to be a pilot anymore. They want to be YouTubers. So you don't have a new, Simon often talks about the societal breakdown, in structural jobs, so you don't have the pilots who are retiring being replaced by younger pilots in the U.S. I'm talking about just the U.S. People are getting to the gate and flights are being canceled domestically. You can imagine how international travel can be impeded. TSA keeps tightening and tightening. You're at the point now you can't even travel with luggage. It feels like when I travel to Florida, I just take like a book bag and a small purse, and that makes you look suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just they're going through your stuff, they're leaving notes for you inside your suitcase. TSA is taking longer and longer and longer. Before it used to have to be, an hour or two, especially for international travel. Now it's 3 or 4 hours. Travel if you can. I think the inconvenience is worth it. Getting out of U.S. airspace, you're getting out of what we call an egregor. You're able to think. We are, okay, Twitter, I'm gonna check Twitter. We're able to think. We're able to see something different.
Yeah.
But more importantly, and it's hard to see it when you're there for a week or two, see how different people live. See how simplified people actually live, right? I want to tell y'all, the United States and like big cities like London and Paris, those are like one-offs, right? Those people are trying to keep up in appearance or keeping up in air. When we go to these other countries, you would be shocked at how simple their houses are, simple their furniture is. I mean, even us, we have way too much stuff considering the, if you could get like cartoon or something for him, so he'll settle down. But just how simple they live. And we've minimalized a lot. And when people come to our home, they're still like, it's like, yeah, we probably need to simplify a little bit more. And that is like I call the unprogramming. But yeah, you definitely want to travel. El Salvador was fantastic. The food was great. We didn't get sick. That's a big plus, right? We didn't get sick. We didn't get any type of food poisoning, and we ate a lot of local. You want to turn that down, babe? And the beach was very simple, right? It's not Freaknik in Atlanta. It is a very simple beach. You got, I don't want to call them beach bums, but you got the beach people. Surfing is big there, but it's, the sand is coarse. The water is rocky.
Yeah, it's a what we call a raw beach.
I don't see any resorts.
Yeah, it's not like one of those white sandy beaches. It's a raw beach.
Yeah, it's a raw beach. That's what we like. Costa Rica in Dominical on the Pacific side.
Very raw beach. Costa Rica is still a great place where you see a lot of things going on with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And,
but the expats ran the market up. That's the only reason why we don't talk about Costa Rica anymore. We live there.
Price is a little high.
All the expats ran the market up. So it's way more expensive to me than I think it's worth because we knew what it was back in 2012. Now it's absolutely utterly ridiculous. Even Mexico City, I wouldn't suggest you guys move to Mexico City because us and the Europeans ran the market up. We tell you guys all the time, we live in the sticks.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, for people like my OG there, Cryptonomics, Panama's a great place because they allow U.S. citizen to have firearms.
So because he likes firearms.
I know you like firearms, so you know that Panama's.
But also, you can't have any charges in the U.S. They will not let, if you have any charges, somehow, some way they can see into there, they won't let you into port.
But if you want to move another place and you want firearms and be crypto friendly, Panama's a great place. So you can check out Panama. Panama's a great place. We went there with Panama City. What's the other place there? I
haven't been to the other place though.
So Panama's a great place.
And they use the dollar.
Yeah.
So maybe go somewhere where it's a little bit more leverage or arbitrage for you financially. You might want to.
Yes, indeed. And so those were the articles I had. We got to be careful about Chase Bank apparently, but all the
tier one banks, right? Because if you do that at Wells Fargo, if you have too many, they see too much money moving out of their accounts. It doesn't make sense that they close them, right? But whatever it is, that's what seems to be automatically flagging the closures. But it's your money. You should be able to do whatever you want. Story time.
My
my mom's like, oh, I found this beautiful dress, and these shoes, and she had this whole like outfit thing because she was doing this whole event. And I said, yeah, I'll get that for you, no problem. As a matter of fact, he said that. He was like, yeah, Mom, I'll buy that for you, no problem. He said, I'm gonna have Aaron send you the money or whatever. He was talking to my mom. Zelle wouldn't go through. So, okay, well, I don't typically Zelle, so maybe that's what the problem is. So call the bank, and she's just like, yeah, we can send it. Who are you sending it to? It's like, my mom.
Oh, yeah.
She said, do you trust the person that you're sending it to? I said, it's my mother. Yes, I do trust the person that I'm sending it. Are you sure this isn't a scam? Like, did she call you and say she was stranded somewhere? Which is true, right? Because they have those scams or whatever. I said, no, she wants some dress, some shoes. She wants an installation for women. Know what installation is. And I just want to treat her. Like, can I send this money or not? I just need the code from you. And like after a whole long conversation, she finally let me send the money to my mother. Right? When I started there, I do get did she sound like she was in distress when she called? I said, no, she wants to be fly at this party. And I just want to send her the money. My husband promised her favorite son-in-law, she liked him better than she liked me, promised he was going to treat her. And I just need to send this money. Send the money. And then all of a sudden the account like timed out. So I had to call back and they were like, oh, well, we saw a large amount of money. And it wasn't a large amount of money being Zelled. And again, at the time, we didn't typically use Zelle. And I said, I just called you and got permission to do that. Look in y'all records. And then they, they refreshed the account and I was able to use it. But that was 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of oversight on you being able to use your own money. What is this?
Oh, tell them about the guy who wanted to take out, I think it was $200,000. It was going to take 6 weeks because I didn't hear that whole story time. And he only got $100 and something thousand.
Man, I can't remember that guy's name.
But he's a YouTuber, right?
He's a YouTuber with his own. He's an entrepreneur.
Anyway,
he wanted $250,000.
Oh yeah.
He wanted cash, and he was trying to do a YouTube.
Did he say what bank?
No, he didn't mention the bank.
He just said tier 1.
And he said
one of the major banks.
They told him it was going to be 4 to 5 weeks to get him that kind of cash. And he said, okay. And 4 to 5 weeks went by, and they only got him, what, 160?
He said 7 weeks went by because it was more than what they quoted. He only got 160. We don't know what happened to the difference. But the whole point of his story time was, we know this already. The banks don't have any money in the bank. I remember right around the time when you retired, you wanted to take out a large sum of money. It took 2 weeks, but what was it, 20?
And we were questioned heavily. Remember, he said he needed armed guards to take
we didn't need all of that though.
And they were like, hey, what are you gonna do with this money? We need security and all this stuff. And
that's why I was supposed to take the 4 to 6 weeks.
And he was supposed to pay for that, as if because we have to have security for you to take your own money, you have to pay for the security that we provide you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
is that why it was a difference? He only got 160? I can't imagine that.
I don't think that was a difference, but he did have to pay for the security, the armed guards and stuff like that. Bit. So, it's your money, and they want to act like you can't do what you want to do with it.
Yeah, like in 2012 or 2013, when Simon retired, we only needed 20. We were trying to do something with real estate investment, and it took 2 weeks. They did walk us to the car, but I was like, why does it take $20,000? That's not a lot of money. Like, you're a bank. Don't y'all have a vault? And she was like, ma'am, it takes 2 weeks or whatever. And then they put it in a garbage bag. Like, they didn't even have thank goodness we had a nice bag with us. But they did walk us, the bank security guy walked us to our car, which was right there. But
and what they say, a lot of times these banks have
the fractional reserve.
Fractional reserve.
$0.
They say 10% on hand. So,
none.
If you put $1,000 in there, they leave 100, right?
Right.
Of your own money.
But
they do that for customer to customer. If what they call, as Andy Schechtman would say, a run on the banks. Mm-hmm. If everybody shows up and say, hey, we want our money, then they can't give you the money because they don't have it on hand. We've seen that during the pandemic, specifically
in the Hamptons.
In the Hamptons, great. In the Hamptons, people wanted their money and they said, hey, we don't have it. And that's a run on the banks. People start showing up and they want their money, and they don't have it, then you have a problem.
Well, the other thing is that when you think about it, they don't really have any money.
Not like that. No, not the big dog.
Like
money.
You just need 2 or 3 people to go in there and ask for 20 to 50,000 in cash. They're telling you on the phone, yeah, we need 2 or 3 weeks to get that type of money. What do you need it for? They're going to, like the Gestapo, they're going to ask you a million trillion questions as though you are borrowing the money from them. Like, no, sweetheart, this is my check. Don't worry about. Even when I did the Zelle, she needed to know what I was sending her the money for. I said, I'll tell you, but what difference do it make to you?
Yeah, and like we said earlier in the show, probably at the very beginning, we talked about a gentleman in Hawaii. He said that was sparked by a large Zelle transfer. And so they get the SAR, the Special Activity Report, and they just shut your account down because they have the right to do that. And, that's why I say be your own bank. We're looking for alternative banking ways so that doesn't happen. But it's very difficult.
It's difficult. So when we talk about the 9 areas of activity, the systems that they force us into, that multi-system dynamic to keep you oppressed. I know how generic that sounds. The banking system is by far the most difficult to separate yourself from because you need the utility of fiat. Jump out girls, we talked about y'all last show. I was saying, the jump out girls always talk about traditional finance, jumping out of traditional finance into DeFi. And as great as all of these mechanisms that we have to do that, you still find yourself entrenched in the freaking financial system one way or the other, because you do need the utility day to day of fiat currency, right? That's why when they used to say, cash is trash, it's like, no, cash has its utility. Come to a point where you don't have access to it, and then you tell me if it's trash, right? When this restaurant doesn't take your Bitcoin, when your landlord doesn't take the Bitcoin, when you can't pay your mortgage in Bitcoin, that type of thing, you understand the utility of the fiat. They control boxes. Also, they will take it if it's valuable enough. What boxes, KW1? I might have missed. Oh, security boxes. There we go. What are your opinion about security deposit boxes?
Oh, yeah, you got to be careful with those.
Gotta be so careful with those.
Boy, you got to be careful with them joints.
They'll make it hard for you to get it out if you don't have the security situation in place with the double keys and stuff. I personally, I don't like it. I understand what the utility of it was at this point in time. Like, they've gotten nuts with that. It's almost like there might be some type of hidden stipulation, and I would have to read the terms and conditions where they can keep your stuff after a certain while if you don't go there or do something with it, or if they send you a letter. I don't know. I don't like it. Because you got to remember, if you don't physically have it, in a sense, it's not yours, even if you legally own it. And that's one of the things we are noticing we are having trouble with. They tell you, not your keys, not your cheese, right?
Shout out to Bitcoin Zach.
Did he coin that? He better copyright it. But like even with the precious metals, Simon and I do have a utility for paper silver, but we understand we need to have the majority of our stuff physically.
Yeah.
Right? Your children need to see it. They need to know they have it. They need to know that it's for their children. Right? Y'all can touch it, play with it, but it's not for you. It's for your babies. Right? It's for our grandchildren. And 2, we've noticed, we were listening to a thing today where they were talking about how millionaires have been made in this generation, and it's not from an inheritance. But we've noticed with some of the depravity that happens in the entertainment business, hip hop and movies and stuff like that. When people are not used to having money, when they come from a very hard living, I don't want to say you don't know how to act when you get money, but y'all get where I'm going with that, right? Like, the money, it doesn't change you. It just magnifies who you were. And that's why we talk about the discipline of, especially when you're building generational wealth. It's important for your children to if you have wealth, have access to it in a sense where you can teach them about it so that they grow up and it's normal. It's just a part of their, that's what legacy kids are used to, right? They're used to wealth. They're used to, you know, I'm 6 years old and I know I own this chain of Hilton hotels. They got my name on it, right? No, like I'm serious. I'm dead serious. So you want to do the same for your children, right? We have a significant amount of precious metals. We break it up in 4. And especially Santino, we let him sit. He plays with it. He clinks them together. He asks about it. He counts them, right? Well, how many ounces do you have? Because he's 6, he needs to be counting and stuff. And he's going to grow up, and that's just going to be normal for him, right? And then when their babies start to come, when I get my first grandbaby, y'all, I've been waiting. When I get my first grandbaby, we're going to raise the grandbaby to understand wealth, to understand money. That way there isn't so much of a mismanagement of it. You don't feel like you missed out on something and you have to have all these big things. You understand, like, I don't need a Rolls Royce, right? It's going to depreciate in value, yada, yada, yada. I'm not showing off for anybody. You know, my SUV is practical, fits my whole big, large family. You just got to kind of unprogram and not let people make you feel away.
Yeah. That's deep. I mean, it's a great breakdown. I mean, I really like the way you did that. That was a great breakdown.
I think it's important, especially women, because we like nice things.
Well, yeah.
And you really just have to get unprogrammed from, I don't have to wear name brand clothes.
Right. I mean, and no disrespect, we just understand the women are the consumer class. So, you know, we have to have different mindset, different teachings of people. You know, but she is.
We're the nation builders, though. I want to make that clear, right?
Yeah.
With the gunk and the junk and all the crap that y'all are seeing on social media, right? They're trying to program you in a different way, and they're using the program people to try to program other people. We, the women, we are the nation builders.
Right.
Right? When I'm telling y'all a little biblical story now, Adam and Eve, the serpent did not approach Adam. Because you got to remember, God always wanted a specific set of people to be holy, separated apart from him, to walk a certain way, to be a certain way, right? The serpent went to Eve because he knew if I could get her, I could destroy all of mankind, because everybody was supposed to come from her. Now, don't start arguing with me in the comments or in my email about the whole world couldn't come from 2 people. Just understand the concept of it.
There we go.
Right? Where the enemy is going to come in to destroy the woman, to destroy the way she thinks, to destroy the godly hierarchy on how this is supposed to work, because that nation comes through her womb. So if you can get the woman unprogrammed, right, and understand, like, hey, we have a household, we are building together. Right? I'm not looking to be a passenger seat who ain't doing nothing in this relationship, and it's the institution of marriage. Yeah. It is a infrastructure. That's why they call it the institution of marriage, something that has to be built and developed, right? So as the nation builders, that influence and lifestyle and all of those other things, it doesn't come from them. It comes from us. Even when you have sons and daughters, that perception of lifestyle, that comes from us. We are the nation builders. We are the teachers. We have the collective consciousness. So if we're overly superficial and materialistic, that is going to pass through the womb. Yes, it will, to the children. Right? You have to discipline your children. You have to explain to your children. You have to teach your children. And I'm not saying the men don't have a handle in that. Their influence is very important. But I'm just noticing some of the rhetoric, a lot of the rhetoric that's going on, that they're trying to paint us in a certain way. But the squeaky will get all the oil.
It will.
You don't see the women like me on social media talking about the things we should be doing. You're going to hear the squeaky wheel.
And like they say, you know, you hear the old saying, women are the first teacher of the children. So, you know, that is what she is speaking of, correct?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So a couple people popped in here, you know.
Double Dare, you said, wifey is glowing, and my dude, that's you, been working out. Y'all noticed. He be asking me, I don't think nobody knows I've been working out. He's proud of us, trying to get his old lady into crypto, so she realizes it's not just another gamble. Double dare you. We are happy to do a FaceTime with you and your wife. If you just want to email me, tell me a day and time when the two of you are available. We can both talk. I can talk to her woman to woman, however you want to do it. That way she might get a different perception of it, and y'all can build together.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, Crazy Bronstein, because it is part, the Colonel said, built, developed, and taught way before walking down the aisle. Right? And that's exactly what we had to do with our sons, so that, I'm going to tell y'all right now, when they get married, those women are going to be Simons. They got to do stuff a certain way. If they need to be unprogrammed, Mrs. Simon is going to unprogram them, right? Because you have the nation, our nation, within your womb.
She got it. She on them.
So I think it's extremely important. And we're outside of that airspace. So that rhetoric, and I keep telling y'all the beauty of like traveling just to get out of the U.S., we're seeing a lot of it now on our YouTube because of the vetting that we do, the receipts that we need when we update y'all. But finance, investments, generational wealth, it is a multifaceted, multi-dynamic thing. It's not just if I save money or if I know how to trade or if I get enough Bitcoin, that's the end of that. It's not. Money is it's a psyop. It's a psychological operation, finances.
Wow.
And it's the mindset that really builds and compounds. That's the word you need, that compounds that physical wealth as well as that spiritual wealth.
Wow. Awesome. I mean, I love it.
Right. And it's part of your life portfolio. So it's a big part of a bigger part, right? Which is your life portfolio. So it is important that, like, hubby be on top of me. If we at the supermarket and he starts looking through the cart, do we need 3 boxes of cookies? Do we need 2 bags of Doritos? You know, we got boys and they eat a lot.
She clearly overspent this morning. And everybody's eating good.
It's a check and balance, though, and it's
everybody's
important,
eating good.
Right? And no, but it's serious, and that would really bother some women. It would really, really bother some women. But baby's like, we have a plan, and we're sticking to it, and we built the plan together. And it's like, yeah, you're right. We don't need this extra box of cookies. You know, when you start like thinking about it, like, you stop me. We don't need 2 quarts of ice cream. You only need 1, and it's junk. Right? Do you need 2 bags of avocados? Yes, I do. All right. Well, you take the 2 bags of avocados with the extra box of cookie, put the quart of ice cream away. Got it. Right? So little things like that. If you're ordering off of Amazon, sometimes you'd be like, well, babe, just tell me what you got in the cart. And we start talking about it, and it's like, yeah, I don't need that, and I don't need that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not perfect. Right? I'm still a woman. And, you know, we'll start talking through. And he said, well, you already have one of these. Is it not working? Do you just want a new one? Like, walk me through it. And you're like, yep, you're right. And you would be shocked at how much money gets saved because you just stopped for a minute. And he's just asking questions. He's not saying you can't get it, you can't do this, and you can't do that. He's just saying, talk me through it, baby. Like, do you need a new one? Is it, you know, I know I just made myself hungry. But ask yourself those questions, but you definitely need an accountability partner. This is my Siamese twin. I tell y'all all the time. We're conjoined at the heart, and that's my accountability partner as well. And he'll ask me questions like, do you need 2 of these? If you do, get them, but let's talk about it. And it's like, yeah, I don't need 2 of these. Why did I? Oh, because it's on sale and da-da-da-da-da. But you just have somebody to kind of walk you through the rationale. And very often, it is not an absolute necessity, and money is saved and put towards our financial interests.
Yeah, goals and interests.
I will definitely connect because she bought $35 of Girl Scout cookies, and I can only think about XRP and ADA, but that's true, right? So, like, Simon would have been like, why don't you buy maybe $15? I know that's probably like 1 box now. And then we'll put the other 15 in, and that's what he does, because he's a guy, he's real simple. He just football. What else?
I don't know, football. What
That's
else do we do? Kids.
Oh, the kids. School. But I mean, like you personally, I'm talking about like stuff you buy. You buy like socks. Yeah. He buys practical stuff. I need a new hoodie because this hoodie actually has a hole in it.
You guys know back in the day they used to complain when for Father's Day they would get socks or a tie.
Yeah.
Man, I need some socks. I would love if somebody bought me some socks. I'd be like, thank
Yeah,
you.
I don't know what happens to the
They
socks.
steal my socks. The kids steal my socks. I'm looking. He got my socks on. He got my socks on. You got my socks on. She got my socks on. I said, for my socks. So
yes.
Socks. I love socks.
And hoodies.
Yeah, socks and hoodies because they be gone.
They smell so good when he wears them, and then they just end up in my closet, and that's the end of that. But, you know, we're just going into he said, yo, I love the cookies. She put it on me, but I'm like, no. No, I get it. But that's what I'm saying. That's a real conversation Simon and I would have, right? If I buy like 2 pairs of house slippers, he'll ask. He says, walk me through this. Do you need both of them? Because I don't have an answer. This one's pink. This one's blue. So, well, pink's your favorite color, so why don't you put the blue ones back and let's get an ounce of silver. Yeah. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. And like I said, I know there's some women are probably going to come for me like that sounds too controlling. To each his own, but it keeps me disciplined. And that's what I want. I want the discipline, right? And I want, like I said, somebody to ask me the critical thinking questions, right? We have a plan. This is the plan. Let me remind you of it. Walk me through, how our money is spent, right? We don't live in a 50-50 household. Whatever go into the account is ours. And even for us, it's the families. It's not even like it's just ours and the kids don't have, it's the families. It's for the family. We have a 6-year-old, so we'll be parents a lot longer than he's going to be 22 next week. Yeah. We still have a 15-year-old, a 12, 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So let's understand the plan, because the idea is we want to give our grandchildren a head start. We don't want them to come into the world and get it from the mud. So he keeps me, disciplined. And I think we need to see a lot more of compromise. We need to see when Black men and Black women are on platforms. I don't want to see y'all arguing. I have a hard time finding shows where there is a nice chemistry between the two, right? I don't work together on the show, right? Even if you're not working together at home, at least work together on the show. It's a late comment, but something that the number one hardware wallet is the cold card. Okay, is that Chief? It says the fireman. That's not Chief, that's somebody else. But it says the fireman. Thank you so much, the fireman. I can't see the thumbnail, so I can't tell. But I can't remember who it was. The number 2 hardware wallet and the cheapest is Jade. Is that Percy? He wouldn't come in as a fireman. He would come in as a chief, though, right?
I think so.
Well, coincidentally, the fireman, this is a fireman and the chief is a fireman. So thank you so much for coming in and letting us know, because like I said, I can't see the thumbnail. Cold card. E-Debonell also co-signs the cold card. We need to look into cold card ourselves. I'm going to look into it myself. So thank you for your suggestion. Cryptonomics, do you have a cold storage wallet? If he's still on, I haven't seen him, right? The Colonel said Bombas for Gordon. I don't know what that means. Is he talking about Panditas?
Bombas or Panditas?
Well, Colonel, you're going to have to clarify your comment, because now I'm reading it like in Spanish. Tariq01 says Trezor. So thank you, Tariq.
Oh, yeah, Trezor is
Thank you for your suggestion. Yes, you're not Tariq Nasheed, are you? Because I love your show.
I was going to
Even though I'm not an FBA. I was
going to ask if anybody had anything they want to talk about. I guess we still done kept you too long, unfortunately.
Socks.
Socks. Yeah, I definitely need some socks. I appreciate that.
Okay, KW1 says she has cold cards. They're fickle and can be difficult to use. Okay. Oh, he's military. So the fireman said he's also military. We're also prior service. I was a firefighter's wife, so I take credit for that too. Wall Street Pickers said BTC ETF. So you wait for that, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
waiting patiently.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal out here in the streets.
But you'll always have Bitcoin on it, KW1 says. So that's awesome. Does anybody else have any recommendations, suggestions, topics?
Yeah,
We kept y'all way too
long.
long.
Definitely give us topics and shows.
If any of you want to join the show, it is nothing for me to send you an invite. You do have to be camera ready, though, right? Meaning you have to be at least willing to come on camera. A lot of you have a lot of great information, and I think it's important to get the information out to the other people who are watching. Tariq versus Moorish. What's up with the crypto couple sock? He said a crypto couple sock line. That's a good idea, right? But I'm not wearing his. I am wearing your socks today. I'm about to say I'm not wearing the socks today, but I am wearing the socks today. I do the laundry, right? So I should get first pick at what I want to wear. Okay, so Crazy Bonks Don is also a colonel or retired colonel from the United States Air Force. I always feel like it is like disrespectful to call him Crazy Bronx Don when he's a full bird colonel, right? Yeah. The colonel is asking the fireman and E. Debin L, why cold card? Is it easy to set up? KW1, you gonna join us? You know I want you to join us. But definitely email me because I would love to chit chat with you, casually and stuff anyway. So definitely email me. Crypto Burger. Make crypto institutions great again. I love it, right? You running for 2024? I'll vote for you. The BlackRock Bitcoin ETF will pump its prices 10x. And block the retail investor from ever being a Bitcoin whole coiner. That's true. I never thought about that. That is a great point, and that's great insight.
That is actually a good conversation to have.
I think the chief likes Ledger. E. Debinel. He used to say Ledger.
Nano Ledger X.
Nano Ledger X. Yep, that's the one we have. That's what Chief suggested, and that's what Chief likes. That's his preferred one. And KW1. Oh, okay, she's gonna email me. Good. I would love to chit chat with her anyway. Any other suggestions for hardware wallets or cold storage or just anything going on in y'all neighborhoods? Voice Crypto said Vegas for New Year's. Turn up. I'll get my ish together after that in 2024. You know what's funny, Voice Crypto, is I sat and I watched a documentary on how Vegas was affected by the pandemic and the domino effect since. Like all of the buffets, the hotels are kind of run down. Definitely do your due diligence when planning your trip, because people were complaining that there are old pictures and stuff like that. And when they get there, the pandemic just really, really, really affected the industry there in Vegas. I just watched that documentary the other day. Anyway. So the fireman said, honesty, Chief, it's not easy to set up, but it has so many features that it's unmatched. The fireman, which one is that you're talking about? Was it Cold Card? Was it Cold? I thought it was Cold Card. Was it Cold Card that you're referring to? Yeah, just so people can keep up with the comments. So Blockstream Products has satellite for Bitcoin transactions, KW1 said. That's pretty awesome. And then Blues Batteries said, I like the Exodus wallet with Trezor. Okay, the Exodus wallet. I'm going to sit down and take notes when we get off. That's pretty sweet. Jump out, girls. Oh, I didn't get a chance to because hubby was talking, but congratulations to the new addition to the family. Oh, there you go. They got their new Bitcoin baby. She's got to go feed the baby. I want to hold the baby. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yes, the cold card he was referring to. The Colonel said Ledger is okay. The font is like less than 5. I'll probably need magnifying glasses on. Get some for your buddy over here. Yeah. Wendell Miles says decent and XUMM wallet. Okay. Exodus is a hot wallet though, right? That's the Colonel. She says, I use Cold Card with Nunchuck wallet. It's pretty cool. Okay, so she likes Cold Card. I've been killing long call options with ETF cryptos, BT, Mara, and BTF, etc. That's your wheelhouse. Yeah. I saw with Bitcoins, they referred it on Twitter for real. I have an order in now for cold card. I definitely want to look into that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask Chief when we talk to him tomorrow about cold cards.
What's up?
Because right now, just based on your chats, I think the resounding result is cold card right now.
That's great. I love it.
All right, you guys, we've kept you on a Friday night when y'all could have been out partying or doing something fun. Y'all sitting here talking to these two old people who gonna sit in their rocking chair now with their little baby. And enjoy the Sabbath. I'm definitely gonna get in the word. Arculus wallet. Okay, so Arculus wallet is nice. It looks like a credit card.
Oh, okay.
They also have an app, KW1 is saying. If you guys want to look into that, double dare you. Do you guys actively trade or just invest? Hubby used to trade.
Yeah.
You can tell that story, babe.
No, I just invest now. I used to trade when I had the time. You know, we homeschool the kids, and our time is it's very precious. So I don't trade anymore. Go for the long term.
And we got two businesses we're running.
But
it's
I
just
have
hard.
taught the younger ones the ability to trade. So they're looking into it, and they'll be going to trade. But me, I'm old. I'm long term.
So the fireman said the Ledger was his only hardware wallet until the owner said that they are implementing a backdoor to access it in case you need it. So he didn't like that. I agree with you, the fireman.
Okay.
The Colonel wants to know if anyone uses iCoin. KW1 said Arculus keeps a low profile. KW1 has iCoin, Colonel. E. Devanel said, that's okay. I really enjoyed the chat. Yes, forget partying. I know, right? But and the Colonel said, oh, okay. Well, we love you guys so much. We appreciate all of the people who have joined us.
Yes.
If you guys need anything, you know how to reach us. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, and email really honestly is the best way to get in touch with me, to be honest. It's economics for me on a Friday, definitely for hubby.
Yeah.
How did you learn to trade? Double Dare, you said. The hard way.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Double Dare, you wants to know, how did you learn to trade? The hard way. Lots of books, lots of reading.
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
So I started with the books. So I had these very technical books that I would read. And then, unfortunately, I would follow people. We had these different platforms. What was that platform? Can you remember? StockTwits. I have gone on StockTwits. And so then I started learning my different chart patterns. And unfortunately, when you learn how to trade, man, you have to take some heavy losses. That's the bad part. That's the bad part about
in the learning process, right? It's a hard learning curve.
Yeah. So once you start taking these heavy losses, you figure it out. Because I had a family, I was not as aggressive, maybe as some people might be. So I became a little bit more, what would you say?
Conservative?
There you go. I'd be a little bit more conservative, having a little bit longer outlook for what we have going on. But yeah, man, I hate to say this. You could ask around, but I feel like in the learning process, you got to take some tough L's. So just be careful with that as you're trying to learn.
And definitely learn the market. Like that was one of the things he did, was he really learned the market.
The global market. So, as I say, macroeconomics, if you can learn macroeconomics, which is very tough, but it's just, if you're gonna be in this game, man, it's just something you gotta put some work into.
KW1 says she used to go out 6 nights a week back in the day. I didn't get a chance to do that, right? I met this guy, and he loved me so much. He wanted to be a family. He wanted me to spend the rest of my life with him. I was 20 years old, so I ain't get to do no partying. I'm 42 now. Here we are. Talking to y'all on a Friday night. Exodus is a hot wallet, but works with Ledger and Trezor with ease. Crypto Burger, exciting times ahead for Bitcoin. I agree. With the potential approval of Bitcoin ETFs by the SEC, we could see a broader audience diving, fear of missing out, into crypto investments. I agree with that, but I had never given it the thought, and now I don't remember who said it, that the ETFs could really, persuade people to not be whole coiners when we really should be working towards that.
Yeah, somebody did say that not recently, just now.
KW1 said that's what I should have done. Girl, yeah. He was the sweetest thing too. She just got married. Blues batteries. Okay, well, we are going to let y'all go. We love y'all so much. We're definitely going to be on either tomorrow or Sunday. The chief wants to sit down and talk to you guys about artificial intelligence. I think it's absolutely necessary that we sit in for that lecture.
Yeah.
And all the technical points, the arbitrage that's available there, and also the negative components that we need to keep in mind and be strategic about.
Yeah, she got the game. She got the game.
That's chief. I don't have that game. I got some of that game. I got the conspiracy part of that game. I don't have the arbitrage part of the game. KW1 said, wait. I'm waiting, Lovey. What's up? Okay, Colonel, I'll let you know right before we go live. I'll send you a message. But KW1 wanted us to wait. So she's probably typing, so I'll wait. KW1's my buddy, y'all. Y'all can't tell.
K-Dub.
Y'all can't tell.
What's up, K-Dub?
Her and Dearbit. Have you guys seen the video of Tesla robot testing a new Tesla truck? I thought my son showed that to me a couple months ago. It's driverless, right? KW1? Double dare you. Heavy losses is where I am now. $44,000 later. I hope that's like 44,000 Filipino pesos and not US dollars. But you both are inspiring. Wish you peace, prosperity. Catch the next live. We wish you the same. Peace and prosperity. EWNL, I'll eventually email or inbox you. Not Twitter, y'all. I'm old. I can't do the Twitter. Please email me. I'll try to track it, but I often have a hard time getting into it because I don't use it. Please email me. Oh, it's bulletproof. Okay, I'll definitely pull up the window. You know, all the rappers gonna have that, honey. Especially them drill rappers. They need that. No, I'm serious. It's crazy what's going on in the Bronx, what's going on in Chicago. What's the email? It's in the drop down. But it's aaron.simon@author.aaronsimon.biz. But it's definitely in the drop down of this video. We make phone calls, we do FaceTimes. This is also the holiday season. There are a lot of people who are lonely. There are a lot of people who struggle with suicidal ideations, because I can't say the word without the video getting taken down. If any of you or family members or anybody just needs somebody to talk to, y'all are free to give my email out to anybody you need to. If people need prayer, people want Bible study, right? I love doing Bible study. I do verse by verse Bible study, so it'll be just as comprehensive as these shows. If you feel like you hear the calling of the Most Holy One in your life and you don't know what to do, or you want to get back, you know, in the scheme of things with him again, just email me and I'll be happy to walk you through that as well. Trust Truth. So he's at least 5 years ahead of the crypto market. Who's at least 5 years ahead of the crypto market? Well, Trust Truth said I'm not spamming, so I think the stream bot might have blocked the message.
It's all good.
But somebody, Box Chi Town. Oh, and San Antonio. San Antonio's gotten bad? Really? It was a great place to raise your family when we were young. Okay, are we signing off? I don't want to cut anybody off if they're in the process of typing. What do you do during the bull run? Oh, what do you do during the bull run? Wait for profits and transfer, or bull run strategy?
Wow, that's a good question. You got to get real specific with that. The bull run, you do want to enjoy the profits, right? So you're gonna have to have a certain strategy that you want to deploy. So if you want to take profits and you want to run it in to something else, right, that may move up, or you want to just take profit, but the main thing is take profits. A lot of people will tell you that long term, just keep it in there. But if you have profits, take the profits and do something useful with them. And so as the bull run goes on, you take profits, which you see a lot of people and people in the circles that we deal with. Maybe you're dealing with some cryptocurrencies and you're taking high level profits, whether it's 2x, 3x, all the way up. And then you want to run those into something that's more safe, like cryptocurrency. A lot of people like real estate, you know, but you want to take your profits and put them somewhere where they will gain some value. Don't take your profits and just keep it in cash because you understand the cash is losing value. And so, you know, that's just a simple way to put it.
Right.
But
Precious metals.
yeah, run your profits into something
That's
that's safe. A lot of people, you know, the big dogs are running into the treasury bonds, right? Things like that, T-bond. But so yeah, have a plan for your profits. Have a plan for them, most definitely.
Oh, E7L, you should email me. We can do the Bible together. I love the Bible. I love the word. I'm in it every single day. And my family's probably sick of me now with all my Bible study teaching.
Yes.
Blues batteries, you're absolutely right. You must take profits. KW1 said all profits are going to Bitcoin if she can do it. The Colonel, what's the next wave after tech? Big pharma, biotech? We'll have to talk about that offline because there's so much stuff. Are you talking about profits? Like what to put your profits in? I think that's what he's talking about.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, run your profits.
Trust Truth. Oh, look up Chicago blockchain bully. Didn't you bring that up the other day?
I did. I had
You
to go
surely
back.
did.
I have to go run that
That's
back.
crazy.
I have to run that back.
Digital IDs on the blockchain, which you can own. But he just brought that up the other day. Thanks, guys. Do you transfer into stable coins? My main investment is XRP and Bitcoin. Do you have a main investment pool?
Well, so a lot of this stuff is predicated on your age, are you risk adverse,
Yes.
you know, and where you're at in your investment
Journey.
like she said. So I don't know your age. The younger you are, you could have the opportunity to be more risky. As you go on in life, you have to be a little bit more risk averse. So those things matter. Those things definitely matter, right? A lot of people will chase some of these alternative coins because they have the time to chase them. If you have built up would you say like a retirement or something like that, and you have a certain age, you probably don't want to chase those coins where you want to have something that's less risk adverse. So it's definitely something you would sit down with somebody and have the analyzation of your age, you know, your ability to work, your income, and all this stuff, so that we can get like a precise way that you should be investing. So you know, like you said, it's not investment advice,
Right. We're not financial advisors.
but you got to understand, you know, your age, your ability to still earn, and things like that that play into place of your investment strategy.
Double dare you, feel free to hit the drop down and email us, and we can FaceTime you, or we can call you on the phone, or whatever's easier for you if you have a lot more more questions for you. The Colonel will definitely call you because you want to know after Bitcoin what are good stable investments. Like we used to have the silver ones. We used to invest in silver, like First Majestic. And
so she's talking about silver mining companies. So those are great investments, but they're very volatile.
Yes.
They are very volatile, and there's been some problems with some of the mining projects with what do you call it, cartel robbing the people in illegal mining projects. So man, they are very volatile, but they are there's money to be made there.
But Colonel will definitely call you. E7L, nothing more legit than Bitcoin. I agree. And precious metals. Precious metals been around for 6,000 years. Y'all know they betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus tells the story about the 10 talents, which you guys don't know, but a talent was 75 pounds of silver, y'all. Like, kingdom of heaven is very rich. Double Dare You said they're 50, have a passport, a cold wallet, and a Harley. I love it. You be safe on your Harvey, though. I want to do similar and live in another country. From Maryland? Okay.
Well, who was that? Who
Double
said that?
Dare You. That's the one who asked, and you were saying it depends on your age, your risk aversion.
Well, Double Dare You, I have every year they come up with these best places for people to retire and live as expats. So I have this list. We were going to do a show on it. We've done a show on it before. I didn't want it to be redundant, but we can run it back out and let you know the new.
Has it changed?
Yeah, it changes. So the places that it's good for people from the United States to live and retire and run businesses.
Where you can get the best arbitrage, how you can really secure the purchasing power of your dollar, which is what we do here in Mexico, especially where we live in Mexico. Blues batteries. Over the years in crypto, I made profits and placed it into Bitcoin. But Bitcoin also went down and you lost. Best for yourself is to place into a stable coin if you stay in crypto, in my opinion. So you guys have to understand that when we talk about the market, which is now a global market, ebbs and flow of the market. What goes up must come down. What goes down must eventually come back up. So that's why he talks about risk aversion, volatility, and we talk about the long game, right? It's low time preference.
Low time preference.
Right. So it's a slow and steady wins the race. There's going to be losses. There's going to be gains, right? You're going to have happiness. You're going to have sadness. There's a season for everything. We understand that. That's good for got y'all looking younger. Oh, thank you. We old. That's Sultan Shakir. Thank you so much for joining our show. Yes, please review the arbitrage geolocations. We're absolutely going to do that for you, Colonel. Double dare you. Thank you, sir. I will stay tuned and connected. Oh, that good food got y'all looking younger in Mexico, right? These kids keep us active is really what I think. Good food? In Mexico, there's no GMOs, and we get like real natural food and fruit and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean the fact that they're eating all our food? We get nothing. Yeah, so that's what happens. But yeah.
But we love y'all. We really are gonna go this time. We're at the 1:45-minute mark. Oh man. But we're definitely gonna be live tomorrow or Sunday.
Okay, she got it.
Exactly, natural. Yes. They trying to kill y'all in the U.S. I've been watching the videos. So do your best to eat and keep yourself up so that you can think. They're really trying to mess with your thinking, your critical skill ability. So, but we are gonna go. My little baby's over there huffing and puffing, waiting for mommy to come back over there. And we'll see you guys either tomorrow or Sunday. Bye. I never know how to turn this off, y'all. One more salute, the firemen. Oh, salute to you too. Buenas noches. Que tenga buen día. Nos vemos. Baby, I can't turn this off. I don't think it's that either. Y'all get to sit here and watch me fiddle with trying to turn it off. Here we go. All right, we love y'all. I found it. Bye.